Cells have certain structures in common. You already know there are similarities among cells. The membrane surrounding a cell is called a cell membrane. The gel-like fluid in all cells is called the cytoplasm. Ribosomes are also common to all cells. All cells contain DNA, but how it is contained in cells is the main difference between the two main cell types. Prokaryotic cells do not contain their DNA in a nucleus. Bacteria are single-celled or unicellular prokaryotes. Eukaryotic cells do contain their DNA in a nucleus. Eukaryotes people are most familiar with generally have many cells. They are multicellular organisms such as plants and animals. However, there are some unicellular eukaryotes, such as this euglena. In addition to a nucleus, eukaryotes have other membrane-enclosed organelles. To review similar eukaryotic cell structures and functions, click each highlighted part of the cell. When you are finished, click Continue to explore what makes eukaryotic cells different from one another. Mitochondria. Mitochondria are the power producers of the cell. Golgi complex. The Golgi complex packs and stores cellular material. Nucleus. The nucleus is the information center of the cell. Lysosomes. Lysosomes function as the disposal system of the cell. Ribosomes. Ribosomes link amino acids together to make proteins in the cell. Endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum moves cellular material around in the cell. Cell membrane. The cell membrane provides a protective barrier around the cell. Plant cells are different from the generalized eukaryotic cell you observed in the last scene because they have 3 additional organelles. Plants have a cell wall, chloroplasts, and large central vacuoles. Click on each of the 3 organelles as they are highlighted to find out more about their function inside the plant cell. Unlike animal cells, which have small vacuoles, plant cells generally have a large central vacuole. The central vacuole stores water and other cell products. It also offers support for the cells so that they do not collapse. Have you ever wondered how flower shops make green carnations? To find out how this happens, click on the carnation and drag it to the beaker of colored water. Do you notice the color change in the petals of the carnation? This is the result of the green water being stored in the central vacuoles and therefore changing the color of the cells in the petals. The cell wall is the outermost lining of a plant cell that gives it protection and support. The cell wall is built mostly of cellulose fibers. Cellulose is made up of long chains of sugar molecules that make the cell walls very rigid. It is the primary ingredient found in the wood of trees. This will help you remember that cell walls can be rigid. Chloroplasts are the organelles that make it possible for plants to change sunlight into energy for the plant. You will learn in the next scene how important chloroplasts are for plant cells. The way plant and animal cells get their energy is what makes them so different from one another. Both plants and animal cells have mitochondria. In addition, plants have chloroplasts. You probably remember that mitochondria produce energy for the cell. They take in energy that is stored in sugars and transfer it to ATP molecules. ATP molecules are then used as an energy source for the cell. Animals need to eat food in order to survive. The food they eat gives the mitochondria in their cells the sugar they need to make ATP molecules. Plants are very different from animals because they are able to make their own sugars through a process called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis takes place in the chloroplasts of plant cells. During this process, sunlight and carbon dioxide are converted into sugars and oxygen. These sugars are transported to the mitochondria, where they are used to produce the plant's ATP molecules. You will learn more about photosynthesis in future lessons. All cells carry out functions necessary for an organism to survive. Unicellular organisms only have one cell to perform all the necessary functions. Bacteria have three common cell shapes. The shapes are bacilli, which are rod-shaped, cocci, which are sphere-shaped, and spirilla, which are spiral-shaped. Each shape provides the bacteria with a different advantage. A multicellular organism can use many different cells to perform different functions that a unicellular organism has to do with just one cell. Cells with a variety of shapes help multicellular organisms perform specific functions. The process of creating specialized cells begins when an organism starts to develop. In the beginning, most of its cells are similar. As the organism grows, its cells continue to divide and change. Some cells serve general functions. Others develop into specialized cells that carry out specific functions. To see how cells divide and develop into specialized cells within plants and animals, click on the frog and the plant. After you have looked at both of them, click Continue to proceed to the next scene. As you saw in the frog, there are many specialized cells that make up animals. Each specialized cell has a specific function. To learn more about specialized cells in animals, click on highlighted examples. Bone cells, or osteocytes, help to build and maintain the structures the organism needs for support. Muscle cells help the body move freely and maintain flexibility. Neurons are specialized cells in animals that send messages from one part of the body to another. Red blood cells carry oxygen throughout your body. Macrophages are another type of specialized cell that are found in blood and help protect the body from harmful bacteria. Like animals, plants also have several specialized cells. Plants have specialized cells in their roots that help them absorb water and nutrients from the soil. The water that the plants get from the soil moves up through the stem to the leaves through specialized water-transporting cells. These cells allow water to reach all areas of the plant. Other important specialized cells in the plant are contained in its leaves. Leaf cells contain more chloroplasts than any other cell. Can you guess why? If you guess that it is because leaves get the most sun and that sunlight energy is very important for photosynthesis, then you're correct. Sugar molecules produced in the chloroplasts are then transported from the leaves through the stem to the roots and other plant parts through specialized food-transporting cells. You will learn more about specialized cells in plants in future lessons. Now you know some of the differences in structures between prokaryotes and different types of eukaryotes. Unicellular organisms have just one cell to do all of the cell functions they need to live. Multicellular organisms have many cells. Cells with specialized functions spread out the work in a multicellular organism. In this lesson, you learned the function of several specialized cells in plants and animals. Knowing differences in cells helps you understand how they survive. As you continue your life science studies, it will also help you to understand the roles different organisms play in your environment.